Welcome Sentinels, Hazmy here, and in this video we will talk about equipment and itemization in Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall is a hack and slash action RPG, and thus it will have the usual gameplay cycle of completing missions for rewards, upgrading your character, then proceeding to the even more challenging missions for better rewards. Or, in other words, endless farming. Now, just because it will have lots of farming, it doesn't mean it has to be boring. Other games from the genre, from Warframe to Path of Exile to Diablo or Destiny, all have a similar system, and they're fun and popular, since you always have fun things to work on your characters. Now let's take a look at what's in Babylon's Fall. The player will start with 9 equipment slots, 4 weapon slots, 4 armor slots, and an accessory. You will already be able to customize the type of weapons you'd like to use and some basic stats you prefer to focus on, but as the story will unfold, you will unlock up to 12 equipment slots as 4 weapons, 4 armor, 3 accessories, and the Gideon Coffin. And we will talk about all of this in the video. The main stat on every item will be called power. This is similar to item level and is the main indicator of an item's, well, power. The higher it is, the more damage your weapons will do, or the more defense and armor will provide. Additionally, missions will indicate their difficulty through power numbers recommended for them. Items will also possess elemental affinity in Babylon's Fall. I'm quite happy about this as lots of games drop this old school mechanic. The 4 types of damage will be raw, fire, ice, and lightning. Depending on the affinity, it affects the amount of damage inflicted or the amount of damage taken. We will find out more about this and their importance, but we will be able to determine weaknesses and strengths based on special decorations shown on damage numbers. Next, we will dive into the core signature stats of our equipment. Weapon performance will be determined by 5 stats, with shield having a special exclusive stat. Damage, influencing your weapon's base damage. Critical, being your critical strike chance. I don't know if there will be critical damage or something like that, maybe a special enchantment later on. But we will have impact, influencing the knockback damage on enemies. Now, this is a very interesting stat. One of the main criticisms in the game is the lack of feedback on enemies. And it is important to note here that enemy stagger is a difficulty mechanic. The more you can stagger an enemy, the easier the game potentially gets. And you can, so to say, cheese enemies. A good example are the Souls games. Not every enemy can be staggered, but the ones you can, if you have infinite amount of stamina, you can kill them before they can do anything. And there are bosses which cannot be staggered and you will be forced to dodge and be on the defense. And this doesn't mean they went cheap with the animations, it is determining the difficulty of an enemy. That is why impact is such an important stat, as it might affect our weapon's stagger on enemies and be a very critical part of combat. Next up is Spirit Siphon, which will determine your spirit generation through your attacks. Spirit is your character resource you spend on abilities and stronger attacks, aka the red bar under your health. And the unique shield stat is of course block, determining the amount of damage your shield block absorbs. Going on with stats on armor slots, the main one being Vitality, representing your character's health. Stability being the counter to impact, determining the resistance to knockback effects, and interestingly, also the speed at which you recover from said knockbacks, also very important in case of special enemies with lots of stunning abilities. We will also have Spirit Regen this time. This is your passive regeneration for your red bar. And we will also have Spirit, increasing your maximum spirit bar meter, so you can store more spirit. Stats will determine your character's effectiveness and also support the unique build you came up with. To help with acquiring the right equipment you'd like, the game will also include a forge. The forge will allow you to create equipment and upgrade stats on them to your liking and perhaps unlock special enchantments on them. More will be revealed with the game's launch, but they mentioned forging will be somewhat limited in order to keep the game's balance fun and engaging. I assume this will mean we will be able to create base items or upgrade the ones we like, but they probably won't let us craft the best items with the best stats and enchantments on them. For that, we will have to fight and farm for, which is fair and square. Oh, did I say something about enchantments? Ah yes, of course. Items will also have special powers called enchantments on them. These special abilities will be triggered through various combat events and offer unique and powerful rewards for a duration. Enchantments will be unique to certain equipment slots and probably will be the main determining factor whether an item is worth keeping or not. For a few examples, some enchantments can trigger healing on a perfect dodge, slow enemies on a shield parry, or regenerate SP for your character. All of these combined will help you create a unique character with the combat abilities you prefer and offer an entertaining gameplay loop to find the best items that support your playstyle. For the final part of this video, there is the Gideon Coffin. The Gideon Coffin is a special character equipment unlocked through the story, with major lore to it that you will have to find out progressing through the main story. What we do know is that the Gideon Coffin will be our customizable skill tree. While it is a unique item, there will be multiple types of Gideon Coffins we can equip, with some of them being exclusive to one of the 3 player factions. Each Gideon Coffin will have a unique gutwork action to it. It is basically a special attack move associated with your Gideon Coffin, and a unique skill tree as well. This is another major determining factor in your character build, and will probably help you decide what stats and abilities you will want to focus on by building a unique skill tree. The mentioned skill tree will be unlocked as your count level increases, giving you GP that you can spend on your Gideon Coffins. This resource will be limited like most skill trees, and you will have to spend them wisely to have an efficiently built Gideon Coffin next to your equipment set. Well, that is pretty much the sum of it all. Hope it was clear and gave you a nice view of what to expect in Babylon's Fall. Will you be building a lightning-fast offensive character, a debuffer to help your team, or a tank capable of powerful counterattacks? Well, I hope there will be plenty of options for us, but I can't wait to see what you'll all build once the game is out. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all the next time.